Welcome to yet another segment, guys. Exciting times. Tomorrow is the finals of the Serbian Cup, which will feature Red Star, Belgrade, and Partizan Belgrade. It's the 165th Eternal Derby. The last one was, and I did a preview and the recap of it a little bit over a month and a half ago. April 8th, I believe, is the date it took place on, where Red Star ended up winning 1-0. Beautiful headed goal from Marko Ivanic, set up from Kanga from a corner, and it pretty much sealed the title for Red Star. They climbed at that point, I believe it was to 12 points over Partizan Belgrade. It was pretty much sealed. Red Star went to go on to set a bunch of records this season: points, goals scored, yada yada, and it was a little bit of a different season this year because there were 20 teams in the league. There was no relegation last season due to the pandemic, so they didn't think that it would be fair for anyone to be relegated. So they added another 4 teams, I believe it was last year. So there's 20, and starting next season, it's going to go back to 16. So getting to this point, Partizan beat Vojvodina in the semis by a score of 1-0. Red Star beat Radnik Surdulica by a score of 2-1. Radnik actually gave Red Star, you could almost say, the most trouble this season. They are managed by Djordjevic, Slav Djordjevic. He is a former Red Star player. He led the Red Star, U21s in the U21 Euro or U21 Champions League, where they got, I believe, to the quarterfinals, which was a great success for the team. So yeah, he's the coach there now, and he's going to be a candidate to coach other teams as well. But this is a big game for Red Star for a lot of reasons. Bragging rights over the rivals. You always want to beat your rivals. And the second reason is they can claim the double this season, winning the league and the cup, which Red Star hasn't done since 2006, 2007, which is a very long time ago. So they're going to be looking to come out strong in this match and to beat Partizan Belgrade. Something I should mention: Partizan will be without Asano, who is their best player. He terminated his contract. A lot of issues with not getting paid the money that he was owed, so he kind of terminated his contract. And now he's going to look for a new start elsewhere starting next season. Something I will mention about this match is, as I've talked in the regular season, there is the bonus players rule, which is you have to feature at least 2 players 21 and under for at least one half of football. That does not apply in the cup. However, I do believe that you still only allowed 4 foreign players to only feature in a match day. So for Red Star, it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of carry that on. Milan Pavkov will not feature due to suspension. The back line is pretty much what we expect, so I'm kind of going to go through the starting 11 here. Milunovic and Deganek are probably going to be the center backs. Gajic and Rodic on the wings. In the midfield is kind of where you can kind of combine who people will have different opinions. What I think personally, I think you're going to see Sonogo and Kanga in the middle, and then the 3 attacking players, you're going to see something like Mirko Ivanic, Alexander Kataj, Ben, and probably Fulcinelli up top. The reason why I say Sonogo and Kanga in the midfield there, like as the 2 holding defensive mids, if you want to say, is because when Kanga came on in the Eternal Derby in April, just a month ago, he kind of, the game changed as he came on. He brought a lot of energy, his passing, connecting with Ivanic and Kataj. He does an excellent job of that. They're very familiar with each other, which makes it also that much easier. And Sonogo just as that tough guy in the midfield who's gonna cut off anything that Partizan really does. And Mirko Ivanic, the best player this year in the league. He finally started to get playing time this season. He didn't get a lot of it under Milojevic when he was here, but he's proved that he's an exceptional talent. He could be looking to part ways with Red Star in the summer. We'll see what happens. And Kataj obviously coming back from injury. He got some minutes under his belt the last 2 or 3 match days, so he's hopefully fit and ready to go. And like I said, Ben has been an exceptional player since he got to Red Star 3 years ago. His production is there, the best foreign goal scorer in Red Star history. And up top, you're going to have Diego Fulcinelli, which, I mean, he's in terms of an all-out striker, he's really the only option you have with Pavkoval. Krstovic hasn't played. I think he's played 3 or 4 matches this season, and Stankovic isn't going to throw, a 20-year-old to play in the finals of a cup. Krstovic might feature on the bench. He might not even feature on the bench because you have guys who can slot in as a striker. And like I said, Ben, I think, will play in those 3 attacking players with Kataj and Ivanic. Could be interesting. Maybe he plays as an all-out striker, which I believe he did the last derby that was a month ago. And then maybe Stankovic has someone like Gavric on the wing, or maybe you throw Kataj on the wing and you slot in Veljko Nikolic, who's had a really good season as well. So in terms of the lineup, we'll see what happens there. Attacking wise, I expect we're going to have a lot of the ball. It could be a fairly rough match. There's a lot on the line. Partizan obviously wants to get at least a trophy this season in what's been a solid season for them. But whenever you finish second, both of the Belgrade teams want to finish first. So someone's not going to be happy at the end of the season. And that's obviously Partizan this year, finishing second by a fairly wide margin. I think it was 13, 14 points at the end. But they're going to look to come out and attack. But like I said, Asano was one of the most dangerous players this season. He didn't play that well, interestingly, against Red Star. Hollander is actually another good player that they have up top, who's their striker. They have Jovic, who is one of their up-and-comers as well. So Hollander and Jovic actually had 2 really good chances in the last derby right before halftime, where I think Hollander hit the crossbar, and then Jovic had a shot stopped by Milan Borjan, which he just ended up getting to. But he was a threat. Jovic is also an exceptional player. He's good at dribbling the ball, distributing passes, and things like that. So fully expect to see Natho in the starting lineup, even though he has been fairly poor against Red Star in the 2 years, I believe, that he's been at Partizan. The 2 defensive mids, I think that's going to be interesting to see where they go with that, because they have guys like Šćekić and Zdjelar. Zdjelar, I believe, will start, and he could be maybe paired with Jovic, and we'll see, not Jovic, Zdjelar and Jojic. So they could be paired in that defensive mid position, and then they could have Jovic, Markovic on a wing, Natho, depending on what they do use. But Suma is also another player who's played extremely well against Red Star Belgrade. We'll see what happens with him in this match, if he's in contention. I know there's been a lot of talk. He's gonna be sold this summer as well. So we'll see what happens with him. Like I said, he's been a thorn in Red Star's side for a while now, and he scored some goals in Derby as well. So we'll see if Stanovic does go with Suma as opposed to Natho. Like I said, Natho hasn't played well against Red Star this season. But what's important is where Red Star's biggest threat is in the air. So they've scored 30-plus goals this season from set pieces, corners, free kicks, that type of stuff. Milunovic is exceptionally dangerous in there, and they showed last derby that even Ivanic, a guy who's not really known for heading the ball, he was the one that scored the goal to win 1-0. Like I said, it was off a Kanga whipped in corner from the right side, and he put it away to where Stojkovic couldn't save it. So that's going to be the number one, I think, number one way that Red Star can score a goal. Something I always say in matches, derby, whatever it is, don't give up free kicks anywhere from 20 to 25 yards out. That's something we're going to have to be very careful with, because they do have players who know how to put the ball in the back of the net from free kicks. Jojic, Natho, just to name a few. So they need to keep it tight and compact at the back. Milunovic and Sanogo are usually a little bit the one thing I hate about them on the ball is they're very nonchalant, and you can't be nonchalant in derby matches like this. If you're not unsure, get the ball away. If you have time, take your time, but don't be nonchalant on the ball where they can cut the ball off, hit you on the counter, and score a goal. So it's very important to take care of the ball when you do have it. In terms of score prediction, I think that Red Star will take the double this season. I think that they will win 2-0. I will say Kataj and Ivanic will be the goal scorers. Got that in the first half, even each in the second, and hopefully Red Star claims their first double since I believe it was the 2006-2007 season, which has been a very long time. And those who can't see, I'm sporting an old school Red Star jersey. This is the one I got. I got this probably 15, 16, 17 years ago when Kappa was still the sponsor. So I've had it for a very long time, still fits. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the game tomorrow.